Okay, let's dive into this. We're talking about Alaska's secret to zero property taxes today. Because, let's be real, one of the absolutely most frustrating pain points of owning land anywhere is the expensive, endless property tax bill that shows up in the mail every single year. For most of us down in the lower 48, it honestly feels like we're just permanently renting our own land from the county, right? But what if your annual tax bill was exactly this? Zero. Seriously, $0. For millions of acres up in Alaska, that is the literal reality. So today, we're unpacking Alaska's secret to zero taxes and showing you how it completely flips the script on long-term land ownership.
The property tax problem. To really appreciate how crazy Alaska's system is, we have to look at the traditional setup.
And this brilliantly illustrates the divide. Looking at real estate in Alaska is like stepping into an entirely different universe. Look at the left side. In the lower 48, literally every single inch of dirt belongs to a county. You've got local, municipal tax assessors practically tracking your every move. But over on the right, out in vast regions of Alaska, there are absolutely no local county commissioners whatsoever, which means a glorious, beautiful zero local property tax burden.
The unorganized borough secret. So you might be wondering, how does a state actually function like this?
Well, it comes down to a very specific governmental loophole officially known as the unorganized borough. Basically, these are massive, massive regions directly administered by the state itself, completely lacking any local government body to actually levy taxes. Think about it, because there are no local tax assessors roaming the woods out there trying to appraise your specific parcel, huge swaths of this remote wilderness carries zero local property tax. It's just you and the land.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of this loophole. It is absolutely staggering. Over half of the state, more than 55%, falls under this unorganized borough classification. We're talking about incredibly massive, untamed areas like the Yukon-Koyukuk, Southeast Fairbanks, and the Copper River region. If you're a buyer targeting these remote spots, this total absence of local government translates directly into unparalleled long-term affordability.
Organized borough exceptions. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the financial advantages don't actually stop at the edge of the wilderness.
Take a look at this data. Check out the Lake and Peninsula Borough, right there southwest of Anchorage. It is a landowner's absolute dream. It operates with zero local property taxes, zero income taxes, and zero sales taxes. No way, right? But it gets better. Even in those organized boroughs where some baseline rates do apply, remote parcels way outside the municipal boundaries usually get hit with incredibly minimal valuations compared to urban lots. Plus, Alaska law steps in with some really substantial tax shields, protecting huge portions of assessed value for qualifying seniors and disabled veterans across the whole state. What tax-free land looks like. So obviously raw acreage out in unorganized territory is going to look a little bit different from your standard suburban subdivision. Let's actually visualize what's out there. First up, you've got wilderness acreage. We're talking large, multi-acre lots totally surrounded by untouched timber, towering mountains, wildlife everywhere. It is built for absolute isolation and hunting. Then you've got lakefront and river parcels. Imagine owning prime water access property but without those brutal yearly tax penalties constantly eating into your budget. And finally, off-grid homesteads. Talk about the ultimate blank slate. Picture setting up solar panels, digging a well, and building a sustainable cabin deep in the interior, completely free from local municipal inspectors breathing down your neck.
So the crucial point is really captured perfectly by this quote right here from LandLimited. Owning land shouldn't mean getting squeezed by endless municipal tax increases every single year. They absolutely hit the nail on the head. By deliberately targeting these tax-friendly zones, your land transforms. It goes from being the stressful, recurring financial liability into a true, permanent asset that actually stays genuinely affordable for a lifetime. Are you ready to take control of your future up north? Finding your own piece of the wilderness is absolutely possible once you understand this secret of Alaska's unique geography. So, if you've ever felt trapped by that endless, draining cycle of property taxes back home, ask yourself this. Could your ultimate financial freedom be waiting out there in the untaxed wilderness of the last frontier? Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep exploring.